This is Rockhead from Virginia Rockhead. Today is Wednesday, so we're going to go over our Kino Hall barrel and our internet purchase rocks barrel. So should be a pretty good video. I've got here some of this ruby and zozite, which came in a big old 4-pound block that I had to break up with a hammer and chisel. Maybe I'll put that into the video today. Shouldn't be a long video. We're just going to go through here, hopefully be able to add some cool rocks. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so I just took the lid off of the barrel here, and I have all this golden colored foam in there. Normally there's not foam in there, so I'm thinking that is that chalcopyrite rock. It was really colorful, had a lot of gold sheen to it. I think we might have ground that down to nothing. Look at that. So let's see what let's see what we've got here. Okay, so here is the contents of the Kino barrel. I decided to film outside today because my inside lighting is really bad. But the problem with that is we have to deal with the noise pollution. There's a yard crew here doing some mowing and maybe a plane flying overhead. But since we're all about the rocks here, I decided it was important to see the rocks. So just a quick little look here. Got some beautiful amethyst here. This is really starting to come around. This piece isn't quite ready to move on yet, but it's looking good. The Labrador right here doing its thing like it does. It's hard to find the right angle sometimes, but this stuff, I like the Labrador. So let me go through this and we'll see what, if anything, is ready to move on. I just can't stop showing off the Labrador, right? See what, if anything, is ready to move on. And we'll talk about a few rocks of interest and see if we can add anything new to the barrel this week. I did have a bunch of unused grit in there, which is unfortunate, so I'm not sure if we'll add anything this week or not, but we shall see. Let me get these rocks looked at and we'll do a few rocks of discussion here. Okay, so this is all just actual tumbling media and some rocks that have been deemed tumbling media. I apologize for the lawnmowers everywhere, but that's just something we have to deal with. This pile of rocks right here will be going back in the tumbler for some more tumbling action. This pile of rocks right here, I guess I should leave it like that. They're going in the garbage. Maybe we'll talk about a piece or two of those. And this pile right here, we're going to go through and discuss really quickly. Okay, so here are the few rocks of discussion that we will go through. We will start off with the geode. Get those out of the way so that my camera will focus on what I want it to focus on. So, like I said, here's the geode. It's got a lot of crust rock on there still. This right here, that's what we want. Man, I am so sorry for this background noise. That's what we want the whole thing to look like. So It's got some big old divots in it and stuff right there, but I'm afraid to take it to the grinder because you may remember the last geode I put in there, I got impatient and took it to the grinder and wound up putting a hole in it. So I don't want to do that with this one, so we'll be more patient, put it back in the tumbler, and hopefully eventually get the whole thing to look like that. Here is a piece of chrysocolla, beautiful colored rock. Finally got it smooth enough to move on to the next stage, so that one will be moving on. This is the Kimbamba. It will never be perfectly smooth because that light green part grinds down faster than the dark green part. So you just kind of have to make the command decision to move it on. So this one will be moved on. More of the same. This piece will be moved on to the Lotto tumbler. This stuff right here, I had such high hopes for this stuff, but it's turning out to not be a very good tumbling rock because it undercuts and it's got all these eyes which look cool, but they don't get smooth. If you polish it till it gets smooth, you'll lose your eyes. So I think I am just gonna put this piece in the polisher and see how it turns out. Get my water bottle here. Move on to some more interesting stuff. This tiger's eye. That is just cool stuff, isn't it? See. This stuff makes me wish I had a cab machine. Make some cabs and jewelry out of this stuff. This piece right here, so first of all, this stone is very fractured, very rough kind of. So I normally like to have the stones be perfectly smooth before I move them onto the tumbler, but with this stuff I think you just have to move it on. So yep, pretty stuff. The Tanzanian opal, which is this stuff right here, I have decided that I'm just going to throw it away. The stuff, it has no fire in it. When I got it, I just picked it out of this huge bin at Kino. Did not know what I was looking for, and I wound up grabbing stuff that does not any good. I mean, if this thing's not on fire outside in a sunny day like today, it's garbage. And that's right where it's going, all of it. Here's another little piece of it right here. Garbaggio. This stuff here, what is it? I'm sorry. This is the Honduras opal. Can I get this stuff to shine for you? It's so hard to see my screen. So I think you can see it's got a little bit of fire to it, but it's really kind of sparse throughout, and the rock itself is very porous. I'm thinking I might just throw this one away too, because while it does have some fire to it, it's really not worth it. And then let me see what else we have here. Here's just some more of the labradorite. This piece right here of the having a hard time with my names today. The amethyst. This piece right here actually looks pretty good, but I'm going to grind off that point right there and throw it back in there, and that should be my nicest piece of amethyst. This right here will also go to the grinder. This stuff right here just turns out to not be good tumbling stone. I guess I'll just throw this back in the tumbler and see what happens. This is what I found at Saddle Mountain. It's actually starting to look pretty cool. So it will go back in the tumbler and see if we can get this piece perfectly smooth. More of the labradorite. I think I might throw this piece back in the tumbler. Got some rough edges on it. So we added chalcoprite last week, and that was a bad idea. To put it in the tumbler, it just grinded off all the color and left this kind of ugly rock behind. These are the once beautiful chalcoprite are now pretty much garbage. Learning experience. Here's some of the cat's eye. I'm sorry, I always say cat's eye. It's blue tiger's eye. That shimmer that we're starting to get a little bit of is chatoyancy. That's what tiger's eye does. Some of these pieces, I think I will move it on to the polisher. Hopefully when this thing comes out of the polisher, the chatoyancy will be going crazy. More of the same. More of the amethyst. I think this piece will move on this week. So really, that's about it. I think I'll move this piece on to the polisher as well, even though it's not 100% ready. Pretty good looking rock. All right, so that's it for the Kino. Excuse me, the Kino barrel. Next, we'll get out the internet purchased rocks barrel and give that a check out. So just real quick, here's that amethyst that I put a quick little grind on. Here's the other one. I actually wound up grinding this a little more than I originally planned because there was a hole right there, pocket, that I did my best to grind down. So those are the two rocks that I hit the grinder on. I'll be right back with the the Internet Purchased Rocks bucket. So I said I'd be right back with the Internet Purchased Rocks, but I forgot. We have to, between moving rocks on to the polishing stage and throwing some rocks away, we actually have some room to add more. So I went to my Kino haul pile and I came up with this Parcells Purple Passion. These are kind of big chunks. I had to break this up myself with a hammer and chisel, which is never easy. But that is some beautiful stuff. So we're going to add kind of a lot of that, all of what I have. Got a lot of room in the barrel. Look at that stuff. Here's the main piece right here. That is a big old chunk of rock. But, you know, it will grind down. And I just like the larger rocks. You can't have all larger rocks because they won't tumble right. But that's a big old rock and it's beautiful. So it's going in there. Here's some more little pieces. Not little pieces. These are actually normal size pieces. This is kind of a small one. Not sure how much color this one's got on it, but we'll throw it in there. And we will also be adding these thunder eggs. Get these wet. So I prepped these a while ago too. In the saw, I cut some of them, like that one. These have been cut. Some of them have not. That's not the greatest thunder egg I've ever seen, but it's kind of agate-y. It looks kind of cool. We'll throw it in there. This one's pretty good. I think this is the other half of that one. Here's one that has not been cut. Hopefully that'll have some good color after you grind through the crust. So that's what's going in the barrel. Let me put that in there. We may actually have more room. Let me see what we have here. Okay, so we still have kind of a lot of room, but I still also want to be very careful to not overload it. So we're just going to put one big old geode in there. That should not exceed the 2/3 to 3/4 limit, even though right there in that corner it does. If you look at the rest of the barrel, we still have plenty of room. So, okay, that concludes the Kino barrel haul. That's a Trincus geode. That's different than the geode we've already got in there. The one we got in there just simply said a geode that fluoresces green. This is a Trincus geode. So maybe we'll be able to do a geode comparison from now on. Anyway, that's it for the Kino haul. Up next is the Internet Purchased barrel. Okay, so here is the Internet Purchased rocks. And I am so excited about this. I think a lot of stuff is going to be moving on this week. I mean, we got some really exciting stuff. This is actually a poor example. But, man, just so much beautiful stuff here. I'm so excited about it. Mexican Crazy Lace is just really cool. Okay, so I'm going to sort this stuff out, pick out a few rocks of interest, and we'll take a look at them. Okay, so here are all the pieces that are going back in the barrel to tumble for another week. There are so many gorgeous pieces in there that I wanted to move on so badly, but I just couldn't do it. Patience is a virtue, especially in rock tumbling. These 3 pieces right here, I am going to take to the grinder. Since I already have it out and I'm outside, it's a gorgeous day. This rock right here, oh, I love this rock. It's so close to being ready with that beautiful quartz face and that banding in it. That little top right there, it's driving me crazy. I'm just gonna bump that with the grinder, and I think that piece will be ready next week. These pieces right here we're going to discuss in just 1 minute. These pieces right here are moving on to the next stage, which is the vibratory tumbler. I've actually got a backlog. I've been feeling generous about moving pieces on, so I have a bit of a backlog for the vibratory tumbler, so I might actually break out the Thumbler's 10-pound vibratory tumbler. So we'll see how that goes. So hang on 1 minute and we will just talk about these rocks real quick. Okay, so here is the polychrome jasper that I ordered from Rough Stone LLC. You can see that little thin piece right there. Chintzy little piece there. I mean, that piece is just going to break. It's not worth anything. Most of the stuff is this way. I mean, look at how thin that is. Here's a good looking rock, a nice size rock that'll actually make it through the tumbling process. But so like I said, I ordered these from Rough Stone LLC. They sent me all this really crummy stuff that's just not worth tumbling. So I sent them an email and told them, hey, you know, you sent me all this stuff that's the size and thickness of a quarter and it's just worthless. So, you know, send me some new stuff or give me a refund or something, because this stuff is pretty much worthless. And they chose to ignore me. So I will never be ordering from Rough Stone LLC again. This is the sea jasper. Talked about this rock before. It's the best looking of the sea jasper rocks. You know, it's got some more tumbling to do. Just thought I'd point that one out. This is the moonstone, and this is a really shiny piece. Can I get the whole thing to do that? See if I can not look into my... Huh. You can see it a little bit there. But that piece is pretty cool. I think I'm actually gonna move that piece on. Okay, what's up next? The Mexican crazy lace. This piece right here, I really wanted to move on. It's just a beautiful piece. It's got a lot of color in it. It's got a little eye right there, which I like. But what was it that I wasn't moving it on? This piece I decided not to move on. Oh, that's what it is, right there. That undercutting, I just couldn't deal with that. My phone's ringing. Stand by. So this piece right here I really like. It looks like it's got a lot of bluish color in it, which is pretty rare. I would like to move this piece on. It's got a beautiful little quartz window in there, but it's just not ready yet. I think that little face right there doesn't look like a mask with teeth. Okay, so yeah, Mexican crazy lace, super beautiful stuff. And last up, the Botswana agate. With its beautiful banding. So hard to see my screen. I think you can see that. And then here, of course, Batman's eye. My favorite piece of Botswana agate, but he still has that little flake under his eye. So this stuff is just so hard that it takes weeks to get just that little shallow fracture out of there. So that's it for the Thumbler's internet purchase rock. Let me get everything back in there and see if we have any room to add anything. Okay, so we do have some room in our Thumbler's 15-pound barrel. So we are going to add the rest of the sea jasper. Finish that off. Not sure. Obviously somebody took that piece to the saw. I'll break that little nub off of there before I put it in there. And then we're also going to add these rather large pieces of azurite malachite. I don't really know much about this stuff, but so far it looks pretty cool. So that's it for the Thumbler's 15-pound barrel. As always, folks, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Like I said, I'm going to get the vibratory tumbler going. Coming up on Sunday, we have the locally collected rocks, which I am learning more and more about every week. So hopefully you'll come back and check that out with me. Thanks for watching.